Hey, this is John Popper, and you are listening to the Paulie Z Show. Get him, Paulie!
Yo, 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 welcome to the Paulie Z Show, episode 18. And today I have...
What up?
What is going on? Someone has crashed my TV show, my radio show. What am I talking about? What kind of noises are back there? Well, you must be wondering to yourself. Well, that is my guest who is so anxious to talk today that he cannot keep quiet. And I'm talking about none other than Mr. John Popper. John, say hi. Hey, John.
Hi, I was just picking you up. Hello, everybody.
Hello, John. That's
It's early in the morning out here out west.
Well, tell everyone where you are, because I am doing this from New York City. Where are you?
I'm an hour north of Seattle, Washington.
And I saw when I call your phone, it says Snohomish, Washington, or
No,
what is it?
Snohomish. You think of the winter hooker, the snow-ho-mish.
The Snohomish. Okay.
Exactly. See, you got it.
I got it. Snohomish. And
Yeah.
okay, so this is pretty early for you and we really, me and all my
it's insultingly early, Paulie.
Well, not for me. It's lunchtime for me. So if that makes you feel any better.
I know. So long as you're happy.
Well,
so long as your life is working out.
Well, me
fancy podcast.
Me and my legions of fans are very appreciative that you are up and about. And do you need some coffee or something to get through this podcast?
I don't know. I don't know how to make coffee because I've got the machine for people that know how to make coffee. But truthfully, coffee makes me sleepy.
You see, everything with John is backwards. Now, which coffee? Hold on. Which coffee machine do you have? Do you have the K-Cup? That's the one I use.
It's a big black one.
Oh, the big black one. Oh, that's a good model.
Yeah.
Yeah, very good.
All right, I'll go. Okay, fine. I'll walk over and check it out. I've got to get off the couch now.
Get off the couch. Come on.
Why? Oh.
Get off the couch.
I got to clean that up. Look at that.
Oh.
How'd that happen?
Oh, yeah. This is the kind of podcast, this is the kind of interview that really needs a visual.
Oh, I have a Krups.
Oh, a Krups. Okay, but is it a coffee pot? Or is it like the one where you put the little cups in and you close it and it makes one serving?
I think you put cups in. It says a compact 10-cup coffee and 4-cup espresso machine. Convenient selector control switches easily for making espresso to brewing coffee.
Is there
Pause and serve features allow removal of coffee carafe. It's just the Krups XP 1500 combination espresso coffee machine.
Oh, okay. That's all? Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
All right, well, make yourself some coffees. So while we do this podcast.
I don't want to make any coffee. Why are you trying to put me to sleep? What the hell?
John,
You're making me sound like Lucille Ball.
I wish I was over there at your house with you because I'd just slap you upside your head and knock you into shape.
Yeah, but you wouldn't be wearing anything. It'd be all uncomfortable.
No, I'd probably have a 90. I'd probably have a 90 at least.
I'll do a bong hit. That's a good thing.
Do a bong hit. There you go. You know what's funny about, speaking of drugs, I had Matt Sorum on from Velvet Revolver and Guns N' Roses.
We're not talking about drugs. We're talking about weed.
Well, it's basically the same thing, no? Weed is drugs.
So, like, bourbon is drugs?
Oh, no, that's alcohol. It's a very different thing. And
why?
Well, but the point is that Matt was telling me that, he was teaching me.
New York, where it's illegal.
Right. And
he was in Seattle. It's groovy here, man.
What? Pot is legal in Seattle?
No, essentially.
What does that mean?
You come out here and smoke a big joint and see what happens.
Nothing?
Just in City Hall. Just go in City Hall, just light up.
And nothing happens?
And trust me, what could go wrong?
I don't. First of all, trust me. Anytime you say trust me is a red flag right there. But,
what do you mean?
Well, listen, Matt was telling me, like, teaching me a little bit of, like, how to do some certain drugs and how certain drugs could, and even Glenn Hughes was telling me, and about how, like, back in the day he really had struggled with it, but it was like a lot of great art came from it. And I just remember, remember the conversation we had when we went to dinner in Little Italy? We went to
literally in the middle of Little Italy?
Yes, in the middle of Little Italy. And
literally in the middle of Little Italy?
Literally in the middle of Little Italy. Yes.
Because they might have left some weed there in the middle of Little Italy. Literally, a little bit of it might be literally in the middle of Little Italy.
Do you remember what you told me about the LSD. Do you remember that? Can I share that or no?
Oh, you can share anything I said about LSD.
Okay.
What did I say? I
You
don't
said,
remember.
okay, let me remind you. You told me, you were saying, Paulie, I'm not telling you to do LSD, but you should do LSD. And I said,
Yeah.
why? And you said, because I would have been a really good harmonica player without it. And then I became a great one because of it. And you were trying to basically like, not really tell me to do it, but kind of under the table, like hint at it, like that would
Well,
really.
like I can't. Yeah, I know what I mean. I can't recommend it because it's a personal choice. You have to make that choice.
Right.
It's not like do it because I told you to. If you do LSD and you don't really want to do LSD, you're not going to have fun.
But do you
But
feel that it really did have an effect on your talent?
yes, but I have to paraphrase that that's not the only way to open your head up. You can
Okay.
do it completely naturally.
Well, that's
But
what I try to
LSD
do.
was a good way to open your head up.
Okay.
And the thing is, I don't really do it anymore because that's a big commitment of your time and mental energy. But doing LSD when you're around college, there is a reason that people get very curious about their perceptions of the world around them at that age. It's because there's so much stuff changing, and it's a good time to check that out. Really, what it does is it shows you that there are other planes of reality. They're drugs, so it's like a fake plane of reality, but still it takes you out of your mind and shows you things that you wouldn't see. And yeah, it'll give you a little artistic kick in the pants.
Right. It's
But,
amazing that I
it's
never
really a
really got into
reaction
it.
to the drugs that is the breakthrough. It's you could have somebody take LSD and not learn a damn thing.
Well, it's funny that I never really. I mean, I tried weed a little bit,
And your audience needs to understand that you are like the biggest teetotaler ever. It's not like I go and recommend this to everybody, but I mean, you'll take a Secrets and get all worried that the cops are coming.
What? What are you talking about?
Remember the Z-Rock episodes when you got drunk?
Yeah. Well, I
I think
acted.
that's the drunkest you've ever been, and
No.
you were acting.
No, no, no. First of all, for my listeners out there and for you, I've been drunk a few times, so I know what it's like. I've
How
done it.
many? You could count on one hand.
Yes, but so what? I still did it.
And what did you do? It's like you went, wee, I'm drunk, and went to sleep. LSD is not like, look at me, everybody, I'm drunk. I'm a drunk Paulie.
That's probably why I never got into it, because it's like, I don't know, that stuff just scared the crap out of me.
Why does it scare you? Let's get to that.
Um,
You're on to something interesting here.
I don't know. It's the same reason that I, don't want to, be arrested, and the same reason I don't want, I try
Well,
not to
let's say
offend
that
people.
if you get arrested, let's say some of them will come and get you, and you'll be okay. Like you've established that to your confidence.
Well, I'll be honest with you.
It's not like you're going to go to Rikers Island. It's not like it's a felony. Let's just say you get a little. I mean, are we talking drunk? Are we talking weed? Let's just say you get a little wasted, and we can convince you somehow that you'll be okay.
I'll be honest with you. I actually thought about that my whole life. I always said I almost would love to kind of experience it just to see what it's like just to say that, yes.
I think the word is experiment.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Just find out. I think that's the best reason is to just see what it's like. I'm not talking about drugs that you'll get hooked and now you're a heroin addict or anything like that. I'm thinking you need to try mushrooms and weed, and if that works out, then LSD. LSD is kind of like mushrooms, but it's a lot stronger and lasts for 12 hours.
I did weed,
mushrooms,
though.
You're talking about 2 or 4. You did weed?
I've done weed 5 times, and it was fun.
You did the pot? You took the pot?
Yeah, the doob. I rode the doob train.
Wait, hang on.
No, is that a phrase? What's the phrases? Wait. Do it all right, do it into the microphone. I'm gonna cup my hands and take a shot. Hold on. Hold on, do it again. I'm gonna take a shotty. Come on.
Oh, there it is. Oh. Oh, my lungs are in rare form.
And I
just
think
came
that's
from Austin.
probably kids at home listening. This is probably why I never did it, because I don't want to sound like that. But then
Well,
again,
I just came from Austin, Texas, and I've been smoking since I was 17,
all right. Well, there you go.
and that includes tobacco as well. So, oh my God.
I taped myself one time when I was on weed. It was at rehearsal with my old band, and I taped the whole thing. And I listened, and I remember vividly that while I was high, I remember thinking that the music coming out of out of the amp was so incredible. It was like a symphony. And then you listen back to the tape, and it was terrible. It was just noise. And
Really?
yeah, and I just
You
kind
know,
of
when I did that, I listened back to the tape, and it was really good.
see. I mean, maybe it affects people differently. I don't know. I just never had.
Maybe you should get high and practice a little more.
Well, I guess that would be it too. Maybe that was just like a one-time thing. It
Yeah, I
doesn't
bet
work
you
like that.
you hit your bottom string and went, wow.
Yeah.
And then
That's
and then
kind of what it
stop.
was. No,
See,
what
you
it
gotta
was
do
is like
pursue it.
it was feedback at the time, and I heard, and I just let the feedback, and I for some reason I just kept saying on the tape, I'm like, "Do you hear it? Do you hear it? It's like a symphony, like a space, an out of space symphony."
It sounds to me like you got so excited you were high that you did every stereotypical high thing you could do.
Right? Probably. That's
Well,
what it
listen
was.
to that subway. It sounds like a symphony.
Yeah. Well, what I
What if
remember.
you actually listen to a symphony?
Well,
That's what I'm asking.
I heard a
Like,
symphony.
get high and listen to a symphony. Try that.
Well, I did try doing listening to Pink Floyd once with one of my ex-girlfriends, and then had sex while listening to Pink
Okay,
Floyd.
so you were
That was
having
pretty cool.
sex. That's that's like you're not listening to Pink Floyd as much as the sex.
No, because we did it, and then we just laid down and looked up into the ceiling and listened to Floyd, and I get it. Listen, don't get me wrong, I do get it. It just
Sounds like
doesn't.
you get the weed, but mushrooms are.
I never had the mushrooms. Never
Yeah,
tried.
no, the psilocybin or mescaline or anything that trips.
Well, let me ask you a question then. What if you had to go back and you redo it, and you could redo it without that stuff? And do you think that do you think as an artist, do you think you would have been not even anywhere near where you are now, or do you think you would have been able to do it without it?
I think because of my uptight childhood, I would not have, because I did something that scary, I guess, or that just taking me out of my own head.
Mm-hmm.
I would have been a lot safer. I would have been a lot more reluctant to just throw my shit out there and try something. I would have been a lot less courageous. And I probably would have gone for some sort of music teaching degree and gotten really bunged up that, I don't have a good parking space in the school parking lot, and I would have, been one of those guys that, had people towed when they don't work at the Binnigans, but they're parking at the employee parking lot at the Binnigans.
Begin again. Begin again.
It's good weed. But anyway, I would have been one of those. I would have been annoying.
Well, tell me. I mean, because
Let me put it this way: I'd have been more annoying.
What I know about you is, I mean, you did grow up Catholic, right? And
Oh yeah.
And you were like in a Catholic. You went to Catholic school,
7 kids.
Right?
Yeah, 7 kids. Went to this Catholic school in Stamford, Connecticut.
But weren't you born in Ohio though? So what happened there?
I was born in Cleveland, but I moved. When I was 1 or 2. I mean, I didn't move any boxes, but they moved me.
Okay, so you basically were raised in Connecticut.
Yes, Stamford,
Okay.
Connecticut.
And then you went to Catholic school, and you had was it very much the stereotypical, like everything was really, really conservative?
Yeah, but I mean, it's the stuff they don't tell you. It is stereotypically true that there's a kind of nun that's an undercover nun, where, she's in charge of lots of other nuns. And she's done her nun bit, but she wears regular clothes, except for this giant wooden cross around her neck.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like the nuns who are, they're scary nuns.
And you had that? You had one of those?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think anyone with a Catholic experience knows the scary undercover nuns.
And so do you feel that I mean, because I understand what you're trying to say, because you had such a, let's call it like a tight upbringing, that...
Now, my family is weird. They're strange, and
I
they're
like them.
imaginative.
I met them. I like them, though. They're cool.
But they still had, especially at the time, a very, you need to grow up and get a regular job kind of attitude. And, I had no reason to argue.
Well, that was more of a, I think that's more of a
I didn't think I
generational
was
thing,
going to
too.
Well, no,
No?
it wasn't, because, my grades were really terrible. you know, the truth of the matter is that I wouldn't have made a very good high school music teacher or gone for a job like that because I don't have the patience or the discipline to face a lot of things that people face every day, like a commute.
Uh-huh.
You know, like little things would have made me a mental patient. And so the truth is that I needed a job where I got to be more creative. That was like my outlet. I just would have been too dumb to notice. I would have been like just feeling like I was trying to fit in and didn't fit in very well.
So if you,
You know, I think that's where I was heading.
I mean, I know this is a tough question to answer, and this is very similar
Yeah,
to
yeah. This is all like hypothetical anyway.
right. But I mean, I had the same conversation similar with Glenn Hughes, because he, same kind of thing. It was like, if you had a different upbringing, let's say, because my upbringing was exact opposite. I mean, I actually did. My brother and I went to 4 years of yeshiva, which for people who don't know, that's Hebrew school, so it's the equivalent
And
of
that's
Catholic
very
school.
conservative.
Yeah,
Yeah.
super, super. And it drove me, I hated it. And eventually, because my parents weren't so into it and they kind of did it just because my grandfather was really more of the influence, they eventually just put me into public school, and they knew, and they weren't reinforcing it at home. So I didn't have that tightness. And I wonder if you had a much more, let's say, creative and less pressured at home and at school, do you think you would have found drugs? Do you think you would have needed it?
Yes.
Why?
Because it was more about at home they were pretty creative. You know, like we were a strange. I mean, we still are. We're very imaginative family, but it was when I went out into the world. You know, I mean, your parents, when you're a kid, there is that conservatism that I'm sort of glossing over because they want you to have a good job and probably, I don't know what they're thinking, a banker or a doctor or something.
Right.
You know, something safe that you can go, my kids are okay.
They want
That's really
security. They want security.
They want security
right.
more for them than for you anyway. And I remember in high school, they were going to put me in the class for dumb kids. And
I was in that class, by the way.
They took my IQ test, and I was like college level, and so they're wondering why I got straight Fs. And they took my IQ test. I was really smart, and they said on the form, "Where do you see yourself in 10 years?" And I said, "In 10 years, I'm going to be a famous musician. I won't have to worry about money." And they said, "John has problems with reality."
Isn't that amazing, though? It's amazing.
Well, but if I was a guidance counselor in high school, the kid said that to me, I would probably say the same thing.
But it's a shame that's because look, I don't know if I told you, but
I don't see it as the system being wrong so much as I'm actually an example of somebody who can't function in a normal job.
But the fact that I think, see, I mean, I'm coming from a different angle. I think I told you that I actually did teach. Like I was teaching.
They classified me emotionally disturbed. That's the category. They had to categorize me as something to get into some class where I could still graduate and have like the 50 million absences I had. I discovered skipping school. It was a wonderful thing.
Well, maybe that's why we got to.
And I made like a personal bet with myself. Or like a vow that I would never do homework. At a certain point, I'd just only go on what the class discussion was the next day. And I got through it.
What do you think you would do?
Harmed a lot of people.
If you weren't a harp player or a musician, what else do you think you could have done?
Well, I had life callings throughout my life, but they were pretty dumb. I mean,
like what?
Dog psychologist I could still get into. Like that was one that could see me doing.
Dog psychologist?
I was very into like the Incredible Hulk was my favorite, and I was really into like human strength and animal intelligence.
Wait, is that a real job, dog psychologist?
Yes, it is actually.
Really?
Yeah. Well, like the dog whisperer is a good example.
Okay.
I'm very a dog whisperer kind of guy. The only problem is that I don't want the dogs to behave necessarily.
But see, all right, you are twisted. That's the problem.
I think dogs and children should have ice cream. That's been my problem.
Ice cream together?
Well, no, just whatever they want. I just use the ice cream as a symbol for, I don't believe in telling children no when they want something fun. And you kind of got to tell children no. Like, that's the thing. The world does require discipline.
Yeah.
I've spent my whole life trying to fight that.
Well, I'm going to tell you the truth. I mean, when we first met, I didn't really know much. I knew who you were. And for people that don't know, we met on the set of Z-Rock. John was a recurring guest star, one of the more popular people we've had. And,
They're going to make me play a waiter.
well, no. Did you know who originally was supposed to do your part? Do you have any idea?
Well, I mean, I played me, so who?
No, but it was supposed to be it wasn't John. It was like it was supposed to be just like a celebrity person in that position.
Was it Darius Rucker?
No, it was Josh Groban. How funny is that?
Josh Groban.
He's a contemporary singer, pop singer, I guess. I mean, I don't honestly, I don't really know much of his stuff, but.
Well, like, what's the song of Josh Groban?
Oh, wait, our producer extraordinaire Alex is telling me musical theater, ish. No, but he has like top 40 like hits pop songs, right? It's like a pop, but
All right,
sort
what's
of.
his pop song? Give me a pop song with Josh Groban.
I don't know. You know what? I can look it up though if you want while we're talking.
I've got the Wikipedia.
Oh, me too. Let's see who gets it quicker. Hold on.
All right, I'm going on my iPhone.
I'm going on my laptop. Okay.
App.
Let's see. You're gonna probably spell it wrong the first time, so that's a plus for me.
J.
Okay. He's all right. I'm not gonna tell you how to
How do you
spell
spell
it.
Josh?
I'm not telling you.
H. How do you spell Groban?
Popper.
Groban. All right, I'll just try that.
I could tell you what he looks like. I got the images, but for some reason I'm not getting.
Josh Groban, got it.
Oh, you bastard! You son of a bitch.
iPhones, man, they're awesome.
I have my iPhone, but I have it on airport.
Oh, wait a minute. You might beat me because it says check my internet connection.
There we go. I got it. What's
Close
new?
the
Let's see.
second
Music.
studio album, third overall album, vocalist Josh Groban.
Music,
released
albums,
November
soundtracks,
2003.
others, lyrics, albums, media, home, tour.
All right, good. You win. Play me a song of his.
I can't play. We're not set up for stuff like that. This is
sing one.
Sing one? I don't know. Alex, do you know how his songs go? No. I don't know any of his songs.
Well, he's sold close to 20 million albums. The guy's a badass.
I know, but all right, hold on. Which one? Do we at least know which song? No, we don't know anything about him. It's a good thing that we got you on Z-Rock because I wouldn't have known anything. Let's see, a collection.
Awake.
Josh Groban. Awake. Hold on. No, but my thing is freezing up right now.
Yep. Oh, see, we're both screwed.
Oh, the internet. All right. Well, while my little
That's a
color,
tie. That counts as a tie, by the way.
the color wheel is spinning. So when it's done,
Awake.
I'll
There's
sing.
Awake. Believe.
Believe.
Oh, the Polar Express. Okay, so he's like a schmaltzy artist.
What does that mean?
You know, he writes like Celine Dion.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what. I mean, I wasn't sure how to.
Well,
I mean,
God
it's pop.
bless that. That's a talent, man. That's like I hear my mom's voice in my head going, "Dude, something that's good retirement money."
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I had to restart.
Wherever you are.
Oh boy, stick to the harp. So
Yeah.
wait. So let me finish my story. So you come. They say we got John Popper. I'm like, what? Like how? First of all, can this guy act? Is he funny? This is gonna be terrible. And then we met you, and then I have to compliment you. You did. I'm sure we've told you this, but I'm gonna say it officially on the podcast. You did an incredible job. You really did. You're very natural, very funny.
You.
And you know
Every
that.
time I see those episodes, I believe everyone but me.
Nah, see, but that's the funny thing.
I see me on the TV, and I'm like, "You're lying! Stop lying!"
No, that's just you being self-critical. But everyone, you're one of the more favorite
I think that's what
people.
What's like to act, I think, is to just get used to that feeling.
Yeah, of course. I mean, there were things that I was doing.
I would like your listeners to know that I never was slapped with meat before.
That was great. But
I don't take chicks out to a strip club for steak dinner.
You took it like a pro. But anyway, what I was trying to say was when I met you, we hit it off right away. And I remember the first time we really kind of got to know each other was when I actually took you to Hooters. Remember, for lunch? We went over to Hooters, and it was me, you, and your manager. And then, because I just wanted to get to know you and just see, what kind of guy you are. And I got to tell you, it was definitely interesting. You're an interesting human being. I mean, it's very childlike.
I think my whole family's interesting. We're very interesting.
Well, but the things that you're telling me it's a very, there's a sort of childish innocence to your mentality of like, I don't want to do this and I don't want to do that. I don't want to go to work.
Yeah, I'm basically you could even tie in my love of guns to that. I'm a giant kid.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because didn't you move from New Jersey to Washington because of the gun law?
Well, no, I moved to Pennsylvania. I mean, you got gun laws really nearby. Connecticut's got pretty good gun laws.
So why'd you move all the way to Washington then?
A girl.
Are you
You
kidding?
know, like, no, I was going to get married and all that stuff. And see, the thing is, when you have, when you're on the road all the time, it doesn't matter where you live. So if you have a girlfriend or you know, it's getting serious, she's the one that's got to, like, deal with your house and, you know, deal with the PTA if you ever need that. And so you got to pick where she wants to live.
Okay.
You can't have her living in, like, a truck stop in Pennsylvania.
And what happened to the
Which
girl?
was fine for me when I was single.
What
You know, I
happened?
was living in Bucks County. It was good. Well, we got out there, and 6 months before the wedding, we broke up, but I'd already bought the house.
Is it nice though? I mean, are you happy there?
Yeah, I mean, it's 3,000 miles away from most people I know.
Right. Well,
My
you should
drummer
come
lives
back.
out here, but we never, like, hang out when we're here because we're on a bus for 10 months a year. So he goes off to Bainbridge Island, and I hang up here in Snohomish in the mountains.
Yeah. See, you don't have the problem I have, being in a band with your brother, because there's never a break.
I couldn't do that.
It's
I
never
could
a
not work
break.
with family. It would be very hard for me to do.
People don't understand how hard it is, and it's like, you know, when I hear about the Robinson brothers from, you know, Black Crowes or the Oasis guys, it's like I understand, because it's not so much that you hate each other. I mean, it's just like,
It isn't
imagine
that at all.
No,
Yeah.
it's just imagine working with, you know, it's like, think of anyone who has a spouse.
I have a
you know?
close experience with that with the band because you're starting to tell a story, and you know, Chan or Brendan, who've known me for like more than 25 years, they'll look at me like, oh, he's starting that story again. I know this story. And they're trying to listen to you. They want to, because I do when I'm listening to their story. But you just know what's coming.
Yeah, you know him so well.
And so you just start going, I know it's coming, and you just stop listening to each other. It's a maddening thing. And
What's
it's
tough?
Just familiarity.
What's tough though is, like, I always tell
And
people.
they step on your groove when you're meeting somebody new, like a cool chick or something.
Oh yeah. No, but imagine now if you had to go home and then Chad was there for dinner, you know, for Thanksgiving dinner, and he was there too. You know what I mean?
Chan, though. So
Huh?
you got Tad and Chan.
Oh, I
Together
mixed it.
they're
I'm
Tad.
sorry, I mixed the two because I wasn't. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
guys.
No, yeah, if they were there waiting for dinner, that would be crazy.
Right. That's what I mean. So
God.
it's never a break. So it was always. I still, honestly, it's amazing to me that David and I are still as close as we are. I mean, we fight like
Try
motherfuckers.
and take separate vacations if you can. It's good.
Well, we do. That's why we do it. And, you know,
Exactly.
we
Yeah,
take
and everyone's
that
like,
time
why
apart.
don't you guys hang out together? Didn't you all live in one big house?
Right.
And yeah, we did when we couldn't afford anything.
Right now, we can afford some you know, space.
And
So-
they've got families. You know, they got wives and kids.
Of course. Oh, speaking of which, by the way, you'd be very happy to know that not 2 episodes ago, I don't know if you remember the conversation we had also at that Italian restaurant, but we were talking about my personal life and whether or not I should be hiding or not. Well, I officially, 2 episodes ago, the bass player Frankie Bello from Anthrax asked me straight up on the show, and he said, hey, because he was talking about his wife and kids, and he's like, so Paulie, what about you? Are you married? And I was like, humming. And I didn't know what to say. I said, because this is official. This is like printed, and that's it. And I was like, you know what? Fuck it. It's like, I'm done hiding. It's like,
Congratulations,
Well, I
Paulie.
said,
Welcome
thank
to
you.
the human race.
Thank you so much. Yeah. So I said it, and I admitted it. And
Paulie B is a married man.
happily married.
A special congratulations to your wife who fought the good fight so long.
Oh,
she
yeah.
deserves to be acknowledged as existing.
Yeah. It definitely.
Like,
and you're
that's
right.
the thing I can't imagine. I don't know any wife that would put up with that for that long.
Well, I mean, that's the
Apparently,
thing. It's
show
like,
business has them.
they have.
You know,
They're
like,
out there. They're out there, and it's like you said. Like I kind of deprived myself and her and all my friends of really being able to enjoy it as much as we could have at the time. Like I should have been able to shout it at the top of my lungs at the top
Well, the
of the building.
difference between me and you is that you deprived your wife fictitiously. I've deprived myself of a wife.
Right.
Actually.
well, we got to fix
That's
that.
the only reason I never got married, so that I could say I'm single for my career.
Right. So you're not lying. You're not hiding it.
Yeah, exactly. No, but Paulie, you telling the world that you are married is like dogs and kids having ice cream to me. It's just whether it's right or wrong, it should be.
Right. And you know what?
Because it
I'm
is.
just and I'm.
Ice
they
cream
just-
is delicious. You are married.
That's it.
These are just facts.
And if it doesn't affect my art. So if you don't want to buy a record
Yes.
because of that, then
Somebody
you know
was
what? Don't buy the
convincing-
record. I don't care.
Exactly. Somebody was convincing you that the only appeal you would have to an audience is potentially they might meet you in a bar and bone you.
Right. And you know what? I still flirt my ass off. I'll be flirting because I'm just the way I
Married guy
am.
flirt is an awesome thing.
Yeah, it's actually almost
Only.
more fun. It's even more
It
fun.
kind of is, because, yeah, then you don't got to deal with spooge all over stuff, and you don't got to, like, kick him out the next day.
No, but what's great about it is when
In the mind of the girl, she's like, yeah, now he's sexy, and I can consequence-free hit on him.
well, what's great about it is that you don't have any reservations. Like when you're actually trying to hook up with someone, you're more careful about what you say. You're playing
Exactly.
the game.
You're trying to actually get somewhere.
Right, and when you're not,
here
it's
you
so
get
much
to
more
just
fun.
Be honest, because it's what you really feel.
Yeah. So
Yeah, there's
I'm
no
having a great time.
tactics.
Yeah, and you know what? It hasn't really slowed down the girls, the attention. If anything, I'm probably getting more now than ever. So I'm
Yeah,
loving
and don't
it.
forget the segment of the female population who would love to make you cheat on your wife.
I know. Well, I know.
Now there's like a challenge for that whole thick cast. And believe me, they're
bring it
out
on the
there.
challenge, baby. Bring it on. Let's see.
Your wife listen to this?
No, probably not.
I wonder if we could get her mad at you.
Oh, it's very easy.
Hey, listeners out there, try and think of ways that Paulie's wife could be angry with him.
Oh, it's easy, very easy. Lots of easy little things.
I just want to give your audience a project.
Right. Well, then, you know what? Speaking of which, that's a good segue. Yo, Paulie at thepauliezshow.com if you want to figure out how things that, what was it? Things that would get her mad at me?
Yeah. How could Paulie's wife, tell me her name again, I'm sorry.
Kim.
How could Kim get Paulie angry? I mean, how could Paulie get Kim angry?
Okay. All right.
What
there
are
you go.
ways that Kim could really get upset with Paulie, and how can we facilitate that?
You see, you bad boy. You're a bad boy. Well, what about you? Honestly, what do you ever see yourself? I think we talked about this before.
I'm like RoboCop. I sit in my friggin' chair and wait for the next assignment. I need to develop a social life again.
And why do you find
after I broke up with my fiance, she had some issues, and really, the reason I've lost most relationships is that I'm kind of like a Labrador Retriever. I deal with what's in front of me, and I'm gone all the time. And I was really getting broken into the Ozzie and Harriet thing, but when that fell through, then I started trying to date cheerleaders. Actually, I met some good ones. And
well, strippers, hookers, things like that too.
Well, no, cheerleaders. Okay. Actually, I did date a stripper too.
I dated a stripper. I picked her up at the strip club, by the way. Which
actually,
was awesome.
Before and during that, I was still believing in a relationship. But right now, I don't think anyone can handle the time I'm gone and stuff like that.
It's rough. It really is rough. And
I think at some point I got used to being off at sea, and it's kind of a lonely existence. I'm not ruling out that this is how it's going to be, but right now this is what I figured out anyway.
I mean, why not then? I mean, you mentioned before that you're so far away from your friends and stuff and your family. Why not just come back maybe East Coast and just and even if
I think I will. Well, I mean, I'm not walking away from equity. I got this nice house here.
No,
it really is beautiful there, but I do think about coming back to the East Coast.
Yeah, because even if it's just to be surrounded by, I mean, like think about look, me and
Chris, it'd be nice to see my mom and my dad.
Yeah.
I think I'm moving down to D.C. though.
But like Chris Barron, for people listening, Chris Barron and John Popper go back way. Chris Barron's a singer.
He was in high school with me.
Yes, a singer from Spin Doctors. You guys sort of came up at the same time, and he was on Z-Rock, and I became very good buddies with him too. But because he's here, we actually spend time together. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of, and he's spending time with other people.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Like when I go out, I'm kind of like. I went to Austin. I went to South by Southwest.
Oh, how was it?
And that's why my voice is hoarse. That's really why I'm coughing so much, because it was a non-stop party for 5 days, and a lot of great music. And I went down there to hang, and I got this solo album I'm making, and figure, and I'm meeting my management that's down there. And Tad, my bass player, and his wife threw a party there, and I went and hosted that, and that was fun. And it was fun hanging out with them. But generally, when I go out, like if I was in New York, I go out, it's like I would be just wary, like you're wary of the public. I think it's because I'm, like you go out and you meet so many people at once, it's like this huge rush of people you're meeting. And it's not scary so much as it is overwhelming.
Well, but that's if you're going to a place that has. I mean, I'm talking about just, even when we went out, just for dinner, no one bothered us. And we had a great conversation. It was
Right.
just,
That
yeah.
that was great.
But that's what I mean. You can do that, especially in New York. What's great about New York is that you can do that so easily because there's so many options. Everything's very close, and you can just say, "Hey, let's meet up for." Remember when we saw
But
Star Trek?
there's
Remember we went to the
nothing.
movies?
I think what it is. Well, I think what I'm describing is the stuff that I'm deprived of because of the life I chose. And what I'm talking about is when I'm on the road and I'm working a lot, and going to things like South by Southwest.
Right.
The reaction personally is that I want to go home and just watch TV and not talk to anybody for a couple of weeks.
Right, because it's
So
intense.
it really doesn't matter where I live. Like the way that I set it up, I could live in New York and live right next door to you and not see you for months because I'm like, oh, I'm just tired.
Right.
And so you get used to being by yourself. And I'm not saying it's good. I'm saying it's what I got used to.
Okay, I understand. But the
You know,
question
because,
is,
like, living East Coast, I'll promise you this: I got way too many guns to live in New York. But I could see me being like an hour or two from the city, and that's how I lived for 8 years, and that was cool because I kind of got privacy, and my friends were there. But I was also the last band member to live an hour away from his parents. Like that's the thing. Like, I was also trying to strike the balance where you get away.
right.
And I think that I tend to go extreme one direction or the other, and what I got to do is strike a balance. I think that's really the key for my entire life. Is I believe in ice cream now in an old age, like I said, but my theory now is that if you take care of yourself, you ultimately get to eat more of the ice cream.
Right.
Like
Right.
if I just eat all the ice cream I want right now, I'll die.
Right.
And I've eaten a lot of ice cream. Let's say 30 gallons.
What, in your life?
No, I mean like in the next 2 days. Let's say I loved ice cream so much. I'm being hypothetical.
No, I'm
Let's
saying
say
because that's kind of what I eat. You've seen me eat.
yes,
That's-
you eat more than Paulie eats more than any human I've ever seen.
But I'm working on it. See, that's my drug. I'm working on changing my
I don't
life.
think you need to worry about it because it doesn't seem to affect you. You
But
keep the
no,
weight off.
now it doesn't affect me now. But my point is exactly what you're saying is exactly what I'm
well,
thinking.
me, it affected me then. Like,
Oh, well.
at one point I was 436 pounds. The truth is, if you take care of yourself and exercise and eat some food that keeps you from dying, over the course of your life, you're going to eat more than 30 gallons of ice cream. You'll eat like 600 gallons.
Right, but it's spread out. It's all about. I mean, but that's the problem. It's the mentality. Like, remember when we
So
went
the
to
time
see?
you're on this planet, you want the most ice cream you can eat.
Right.
And longevity allows you that. So
Well-
it's like trade. It's a case for balance.
Well, that brings me back to why when you asked me, well, how come I didn't really try anything? Is that because I guess my fear? You said, "What? Let's explore the fear."
No, I understand why, but
Yeah.
that's not balance.
I
Balance
guess I felt
is
it was.
try some of the funner drugs.
But I mean, I got drunk and I got high. I mean, and I didn't love it. So that's
All right,
like,
listeners
what?
out there, what percent of the drugs has Paulie tried? I would say 0.00000000000.0%.
But does that mean that?
No, you don't have to try all the drugs. You should go nowhere near PCP or heroin. I would leave coke alone. Any pills, that's just a problem later. But there's some psychedelic drugs that you could try. I think mushrooms and LSD, once or twice.
But if you don't have the desire though for something, like it's like if I told you
Then you can't
should
do it. Yeah, you're right.
That's
But
what I'm
we're
saying.
talking about balance.
Right.
And if you have a desire for balance, you should figure out a way to get excited about those. And you can't fake that. You have to really want
Right.
to do them, or else.
And
there's
that's
no
the
point.
problem. It's like, but when it comes to like eating, I have that same desire. I have that desire to.
Were you in a large
know.
family?
No, it's my just three brothers. You met Brian,
Well,
right?
three brothers will eat a lot. Like
Yeah.
I developed, I think, an eating disorder because my mom would put a plate of hamburgers on the table, and if you didn't eat fast, you didn't get one, or a second one anyway. And like I was the sixth in the family of seven, so I was one of the littler kids.
Right.
So you kind of just always like, oh, where's the food?
Right.
There's
So you.
one bag of one bag of Doritos a week and 7 kids, so you know you want to be the one to open it.
So then you eat, and it was same thing with us. So you start eating fast. You start, it's like becomes
Yeah.
like a competition because if you
Yeah,
don't,
if
then
you
you
want the
lose
best
out.
food, you got to be up front.
You gotta be quick.
You know, it's like wolves at a kill or lions. Or
Exactly,
something.
exactly what our family was. The same thing. Not so much Brian, but it was really me, David, and my dad ate a lot and ate fast and ate in quantity.
It was me and 6 other children.
Wow, see, that's even worse. Well, I mean
Yeah.
that, and it has a lot to do with it. It really does. People, you know, when you
It
think
does.
about how people eat, it goes back
And
to
the way
you
your
were
mom
raised.
feeds, like the 7 kids, my mom was like, "Oh God, here's some food." You know, like, please, they're gonna eat me if I don't give them something.
Right, right. Well, yeah. I mean, the thing was, it was always
It's like
quantity.
feeding piranhas.
And my grandfather, here's the other thing. My grandfather used to say, "Open your strap, clean your plate." So I got used to opening my
Yes,
my belt.
yes. My
right?
dad was my dad's an immigrant from Hungary, and
Right. Don't
he's
waste
seen
it.
starvation, and yeah, you're gonna like waste that food.
Right. So I got to the point where I can't walk away from a plate if something's still on it. And I always, I don't think there's ever
That
been a
is
meal.
what I had to learn to do because
Right.
I was 400 pounds and I would die, and that was a tough adjustment to make. Where like, throw it away. Just get used to throwing food
Right.
away.
But you
Think
told
of the
me.
starving kids in Somalia and be selfish and throw it away anyway. And I promise you this: the food never gets to Somalia.
Right. I know, you're right. Well, it's a
Yeah,
guilt thing. It's a
like-
guilt thing. That's all it is. It's a guilt thing from
It is a guilt
from our
thing.
parents making us feel like
Yeah,
got to
from a
finish it.
generation that really had to worry about food.
Right, exactly. Now, let's
And now we're a
speaking
generation that makes lots of cheap food. I mean, you know,
it's crap,
some say
too.
It's
Crap.
expense of the earth. Well, yeah, but I don't mind crap because you know it's all lard and grease somehow.
Yeah, but I'm talking more about
was
like the
raised on
antibiotic.
McDonald's.
Dude, I used to eat pears and peaches and plums and apples when I was a kid. I loved them, and all of a sudden I can't eat them now because I get an allergic reaction. And everybody,
Wow, I never get allergic. I'll eat them sometimes when I'm craving, but I was always made to eat pears. and
No, but
plums,
I'm
and
saying
like,
the-
eat
if you-
your peach. So it's like schoolwork.
dude, the
You know,
shit.
it's really ultimately authority. I hated people telling me what to do.
The shit that they're spraying on our food and the antibiotics that they're feeding, you know, with the cows and all the and steroid. I mean,
All
it's
right,
amazing.
I got 2
the
words
crap.
for you: smallpox,
All right, explain.
polio.
Explain.
These they didn't spray chemicals on our food back then. You know, before they had pesticides, insects were giving people polio. So,
But-
like, if you're worried about the shit that they're spraying on your food, go back like 100 years and see what you like better.
Yeah, but the thing is, what about the free range organic? I mean, there's other options that are. You don't think they're going a little
What does
overboard?
free range mean? Like the chicken lives on a ranch, you know, he gets to run 20 miles a day? No, it means that instead of an enclosure, they're in a yard. That's all free range means. It's a made-up industry term.
Oh yeah.
It means I couldn't afford to come up to the government code where the chickens are all like put in a box and like, you know, get disgusting looking. Instead, I got a yard, and the chickens run around before we chop their heads off and throw them in this like nasty, contaminated thing and ship it in trucks.
Nice. Well, that's
I mean, if you want to really see how food is made, you know, 100 years ago, you had to kill your own chicken.
right.
So, I mean, would you rather do that?
No, no,
The
I don't
truth
mind
is-
it. I
the truth
listen.
is that eating food has always been a nasty, dirty business.
I don't mind it at all. I mean, you know me. I love my
definitely
food.
think that the mass-produced assembly line attitude food has now is certainly disgusting. But someone is killing my meat for me.
Of course, I just think there are. It seems like they go overboard. Like when you really even just look at ingredients of stuff, and you see how much things in there that really don't need to be in there, because it just sometimes it gets. To me, it just seems overboard. That's all.
Well, look, I agree with you. When I eat a McNugget, sometimes it's like, what is this I'm eating?
Right. It's like what animal?
It's
What
like they
planet?
take all
did
the
this-
chickens and put them in a giant blender.
It's
And it's like chicken goo. And see, where I'm different from most people is I'm willing to trust my government there. For some reason, go,
that you trust them.
that goo is disgusting, but it is all chicken.
Okay. If you,
Yeah,
this is
but chickens have toenails, and I'll eat a chicken's toenail. If I was a wolf at a kill eating a chicken, I'd probably get a toenail down.
Yeah, I would eat a toenail. Look, I
You
don't
need some
mind.
chicken poo. There'd be some chicken turds in there.
As long as it tastes good, I don't really care. But now I'm getting to the point.
Occasionally in the wild, you'd eat some maggots, but maggots are meat.
I'm in the point now, though, that I'm just trying to think 10 years ahead, and I'm like, am I really fucking myself up for when I get older, like artery clot? Not so much
The
weight-wise,
answer,
you
if
know?
you're doing it right, the answer is yes.
Right, well, that's the problem.
You want to fuck up your life.
No.
Who wants to be a healthy 90-year-old running around, able to get laid, and no one wants to fuck him when he's dead?
Well, I'm not talking about healthy like that, like Jack LaLanne. I'm just talking about not freaking
Jack
with
LaLanne, you pick the
needles.
one 90-year-old people would fuck. Who would fuck Jack LaLanne?
You'd fuck Jack LaLanne. Come on.
No, I wouldn't. Well, I mean, in
See?
prison.
See? In prison. Well, that was the end. You didn't let me finish my
Fuck
sentence.
him up. No, I remember when being a kid, that guy messed up my childhood too.
Everybody messed up your child. I'm trying to fix you. That's my
Really?
mission in life. Yes, I'm going
All
to
right,
fix
what's
you.
the first thing I should do?
You should move back to the East Coast and hang out with your friends.
Oh, you miss me.
I do miss you.
That's all that is.
Well, listen, let's use that as a segue because we're also running out of time.
Yeah.
Let's use that as a segue, the food, into. I want to ask you real quick about some of the places when you are on the road that you love to eat, because this podcast is mostly about rock and roll, and it's rock and roll and food
okay.
basically. Those are the two topics that we focus on. So I always ask my
best
guests.
ribs I've ever had is Dreamland in Tuscaloosa, Alabama.
Now, how did remember when I took you to Hill Country? How did Hill Country compare to that place?
Oh, it's up there. Hill Country is by far well, they keep coming up with great barbecue. You blew my head off with Hill Country. That is amazing for New York City barbecue.
But what was the other place? If I'm ever in Alabama,
Hill Country is sort of Texas style.
right? But what's the one you're talking about? What is it? What kind of stuff?
This is a place in Alabama, and all they sell are ribs and loaves of Wonder Bread to go with the ribs and the sauce.
And so it is a sauce. It's not a dry rub.
No, but you could eat them without. But they keep them separate for a reason. You could eat them without.
Okay. And do they have the same thing? Like, do they offer you the beef bone or the pork bone or baby back, like different types of ribs, or do they have?
Yeah, they got different types,
Okay.
different sauces and stuff. But I really am a Kansas City man by and large because there's several kinds of barbecue. There's the Carolina style, which is loose meat.
Yeah.
There's the Memphis, which is the dry rub, and I hate dry rub.
But you liked Hill Country, which was dry rub.
Yeah, I know. Well, I mean, there's exceptions, but I mean, the general premise, and
Okay.
I'm going by Rendezvous in Memphis, was this restaurant where it was real dry, like, it was like, it was like chalky.
Oh, no. Yes, I
With the
can't.
spices all over it.
Right. And then
And,
there's
I mean, that's fancy and all, but Kansas City's about the sauce.
right. See, that's
And, Texas is about beef ribs, really.
right. Kansas
and-
City's got the sauce all over it.
Casey's where you're licking your fingers, and, it's like what the McRib sandwich tries to allude to.
Right. Well, it's funny. I grew up on ribs with sauce like that. I never could even fathom dry rub. And I think Hill Country was my first dry rub experience. And I have to say, like, I really learned to appreciate it more so.
It
Because
is amazing. Yeah,
it
dry
is.
rub is a great technology.
It's
and,
great.
It's a culinary masterpiece, and it's subtle.
Well, it's more
The
about the
problem
meat.
is-
It's more about the meat. Like, the sauce almost camouflages the flavor of the
Right,
meat.
right, because you can pour that sauce on anything
Right.
and it'll be delicious.
You can put it on a chicken
hot
McNugget.
dogs.
Put it on a chicken
Yeah.
McNugget, and it's the same thing. You're tasting the sauce.
Oh.
Oh, now you're going to try it.
But what do you mean gonna? I've done that.
Dude, I ate 85 chicken McNuggets at Wendy's. Well, they're not McNuggets. Chicken nuggets at Wendy's in December. And
I actually like the Wendy's nuggets the best.
they are the best. But can you eat 85 of them? I did. Probably not.
What's the most steak you've eaten in one sitting?
I haven't tried it, so I don't know. I can't say. I can tell
I've
you.
done 4 pounds.
Wow. I
Yeah.
might have
And
come
that
close
was when
to
I was,
that.
That's before the gastric bypass. That was me at my maximum eating ability.
I may have come close to that at Hill Country, though, because
I think you could have.
Yeah.
This man took me to see the Star Trek movie. Somehow I bought dinner. He was going to take me out, but I paid for dinner.
That was your choice.
Bring your wallets when Paulie takes you to dinner.
Hey, wait a second.
And then we go to the movie theater, and he says, "I'll make it up for you." And he bought me the the $20 tub of popcorn, and he ate all of it. I've never seen anybody bottom one of those giant. Everyone knows those giant tubs of popcorn I'm talking about.
Right.
The extra large vat of popcorn. You always leave popcorn on the table when you go to a
No,
movie.
not the way I eat. But I'm telling you, that shit's
He
gonna
eats
catch up.
until there's a bottom.
That shit's gonna catch up to me, and I'm trying to make a conscious effort to turn it around. But listen, John, I want to thank you so much for being on the show, and again, for waking yourself up at such an early time. But you said 15, 20 minutes. You told me would be okay, and it's been almost an
Yeah.
hour. I have
Look at
seduced
you.
you. I have seduced you with my words, like I do with
me.
all my guests. And if
God.
I didn't tell you, we'd be on for 3 hours because you can't stop
Yeah.
talking to me. You can't stop talking to me.
But you just don't. You're just so friggin' interesting.
I know that. I know that. You told
Oh,
me that.
see?
You told me that. You said it. Your life is interesting enough that you don't have to freaking hide anything.
Look how guilty. Yeah, we gotta get off the phone because the Sopranos are coming on.
There you go. Well, listen,
Andy,
John.
I never miss an episode.
John, thank you so much. And is
I
there
love you, Paulie.
anything you want to plug real quick? You said you have a solo thing coming
Yeah,
up?
I just made a solo album that's going to be very different than what you're used to hearing, and it's the best thing I've done in a decade.
And when does it come out? When does it come out? What's it called?
Well, I got to get a deal with it and all that, but probably I think next year.
Oh, okay. So it's not like in the near future.
Yeah, it's not coming out
Okay.
anytime.
Well, then we'll have you on again. Well, I'm sure we can do that again.
Blues Traveler's starting its tour in like a week I guess 2 weeks.
Hey, put us on. What the hell?
Okay.
Give me some shows.
Cool.
Yeah, come on. I'll cook for you.
Yeah.
That'll be the deal. Instead of the guarantee, I'll cook.
Why don't you just be a cook on the road?
There you go. All right. Well, listen, John, thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed it.
I'll tell you this. If you ever take like massive amounts of LSD, I promise you I'll let you open for us enough times to get you the medical help you need.
Now I might do it. Just for that, I might do it. If I do LSD though, I would want to do it with you though. If I ever tried it, it'd have to be with you.
You know what? In honor of you doing it, I would take some too.
There you go. So maybe we'll work it out. But first, let's talk about those dates. If we secure a tour, then we'll do it. Listen, John, thank you so much, man.
Anytime, Paulie.
All right, so there it is. Very insightful, and he is John. It really, he's a maniac. That's all. I don't know how else to describe it. He is a maniac, but like he's just the most adorable, lovable maniac. So, obviously, as you can see, very, very fun guy to talk to, and I'm really glad he did it. So, all right, let's go on to Yo Paulie. Last week, I got to read a lot. Well, David and Joey helped me read some of them too, but I got to a lot of Yo Paulies, and I'm noticing I'm getting more now. So I guess because I'm reading them, people are inspired to write them. So let us move on to something. Okay, this one is I'm going to see if I can get through them quick so I can read as many as I can. All right, this one's from Jason Deek. If you could gig with any artist, living or dead, who would it be and why? Hope you get this one. Well, I think I've already did it. I've done what I wanted to do, and that was to play with Kiss. That was always one of my lifelong dreams. I wanted to do that more than anything in life, and obviously Kiss with makeup. And I got to do that for a whole summer, about 40 times. And then we played with them again in Lake Tahoe a couple years ago. So that was it. That's the answer. If I had to pick someone else, I guess it'd probably be Led Zeppelin. And Rush. Rush would be one that I'm really looking forward to and hoping maybe one day we can. All right, so this one is from Andrew, Andrew I, or is that L? I don't know. Andrew Petty to me. I don't know. It's from Andrew, from Woodstock, Georgia. Okay, so I'm watching the second episode of The Celebrity Apprentice, and who do I see trying to get some camera love? None other than Paulie Z. I also saw a ZO2 drum set. Yes, I've been getting a lot of tweets about that and comments. Basically, the story goes like this. They filmed that, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 months ago or whatever. And out of the blue, we get a call from Pete Avick, who's the guitar player for Brett's solo band, and kind of like Brett's right-hand man. And Pete's like, guys, Brett really needs a favor. Could you bring your your entire back line to the city for a photo shoot that he has to do for Celebrity Apprentice? And we're like, okay, when? Because like now. I'm like, what? And it was like at the night. He's like, well, can you bring it tonight so we can set it up and it's ready for the morning? Because they get these things like last minute and then they have to do everything like within a day. So we're like, yeah. I mean, look, we love Brett, a good friend of ours, and he's always been great to us. So I drive out there with my my friend Peter, who was kind of helping us, roadie at the time, and we set up our stuff, and and we told them too. We said, look, all our stuff has like ZO2 logos on it. Is that going to be a problem? And they're like, you know what? No, don't worry about it. Whatever. So you get the screen time. So I was like, okay. So I was there that day, and I guess I haven't seen the episode yet, but people are saying that you can see me by the doorway a couple scenes. But you can clearly see our gear, like the drums, Joey's drum kit with the ZO2 logo. And I don't know if you can see people taking pictures with my guitar, but if you do, you'll notice that those are my guitars because they have the pin-up art on the pick guard and has this little ZO2 logo on the headstock and basically so that was our gear and that's what happened. So anyway, I thought that was pretty cool, and I'm glad that people are excited about it. All right, what about this one? Let's see. This is from Mary to Me. I'm not sure how are these names. To Mary to Me. Oh, to me is like part of the email. Okay, so this is from Mary. Why does Paulie need to wear a scarf? It sounds faggish. Okay, it's not that funny, Alex. Alex has a new sound in his collection of crazy sounds. Oh God. All right. Well, first of all, it's not faggish, and even if it was faggish, well, guess what? The most fashionable people are usually the ones that dress like that. So, okay, would you say Steven Tyler was faggish? Because all he does is wear scarves, and his freaking microphone stand is covered with scarves. Okay, so leave me alone. And also, I wear scarves because I'm a singer, and singers have to protect their voice. So when it gets cold or anything like that, you need to be protected. So that is the answer to that question. If you don't like it, well, too bad. Okay, let's see. Let's keep going. I got a bunch of emails about my whole stance on family and admitting to my happy marriage and all that stuff. So here's one of them. I got a bunch, but I'll just read one here real quick. Hold on. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Fame and success. This is from Monica. Fame and success do not mean anything without family. Stay true to yourself, and we appreciate your talent and your music. Oh, your talent and your music will speak for itself. Kudos to you and congratulations. All right. Well, thank you very much, Monica, and I hope everyone out there can be true to themselves because it really does feel so much better. I have to admit. All right, let's just do like maybe one or two more real quick. Oh, this is from Katrina Pruitt. Did you know Walmart is selling Painted Lady lipstick? How cool is that? I actually did not know that, and that would have been a great ZO2 product for our merch, but I guess Walmart beat us to it. Let's see. Oh, this one's good. This one is from Brian Connors, and he's suggesting some more. Let's see. Here you're talking about albums you like that are hard to find, hidden gems. Here are a few for you. Enjoy. Okay, so I'll go just real quick through the bands that he's recommending. Danger Danger, War Babies, Thunder. Oh, Thunder, yeah, that's a good band. Enough's Enough, which we talked about. Steelhouse Lane, Hardline, Bullet Boys, Kane Roberts. And then he gives some album suggestions, but those are the artists. So, well, thank you, Brian. Well, if anybody knows those bands, email me at yopolie@thepoliezshow.com and let me know, give me some more info about them. What kind of style are they, because I don't know if I'm going to have the time to necessarily check all of them out, but I definitely would like to hear your opinions as to which ones you think would be the best. So thank you so much, Brian. All right, so anyway, let's do one last one. This is Emily McCarthy. What is your all-time favorite rock and roll song, and what is your favorite ZO2 song? All right, well, my favorite ZO2 song is very, very hard to pick because obviously it's like children. It really is. It's like you love them all for different reasons. But I can say that one of my favorites, if not my favorite, is Ain't It Beautiful. And it's very similar to one of my favorite rock and roll songs, which is All Right Now. That's, got to be one of my top favorite songs. And if you notice, they're very similar because they're very, like, uplifting, sort of happy, but, like, real groove-oriented. And they just make you want to go, and, like, shake your head, like side to side. Like right now, my head is shaking, my shoulders are moving, and I'm like in diva mode. Yeah, and that's kind of why I like that song. So it gives me that feeling, that R&B, like just real kick in the butt feeling. But one of my other favorites is "She Believes" is a ZO2 song that I absolutely love playing live, and I love listening to it on the album, and just very proud of it, like the sound and the emotion about it. And if you actually listen to the words of "She Believes," it's about having a partner who believes in you. And John was just saying that it's like he had touched upon the fact that you know. I've sort of been hiding, and I don't want to even say hiding it, but I haven't really can't come clean and kind of been embracing the fact that I was married, and the fact that Kim was still able to, get through that and believe in me enough to say, okay, I know it'll be worth it in the end, so I'll stand by your decision. That's a very powerful thing. It's like when it's like having parents like my parents who really supported us as musicians and said, look, do what you want to do and we'll support you. I mean, there's nothing like that. It really, I mean, money comes and goes, and money is just, it's just paper, and at the end of the day, it's just, but I can't explain the feeling of having that kind of support and that kind of love and someone to really believe in you, and even when you don't believe in yourself. Like, there's times where I just get down and I'm like, oh, it's like, is this really worth it? Am I really good? Am I going to make it? Is this just going to all implode on me? And having that support system is just amazing. So I really hope you people out there have that. And if you don't, I hope you find it. And for John, again, like, I hope he does find it, because I know it can be very lonely being on the road and not having someone there for you when you come back home. So hopefully he moves to the East Coast, and then, hang out with his friends, and we'll make him feel better, right? All right, well, that's it for that. Let me talk real quick, just take like 2 minutes to just tell you what I did this week. I had a burger week. I actually, oh, that was classy. So classy. He was waiting for that. I had a burger week. I actually went to, within like the span of like 3 or 4 days, I had like half a dozen different burgers. And I don't even know if it was on purpose. It just sort of happened like that. I went to Peter Luger's and had, for the first time, I didn't have the steak. I had the burger. And I heard the burger is amazing there. And I'll be honest with you, I didn't think so. I thought it was quite average. I wouldn't recommend to buy it. I didn't think it was worth it. Unless you have no money, it's cheap. So then if you're at Peter Luger's and you're broke, then yeah, then get the burger. It's like $9. But I don't know. Just the bread was too thick, and the burger was like, the bread was almost like sort of more like challah bread, if anybody knows what challah bread is, and more like a roll. And the burger, I just thought it was, a little on the dry side and not very tasty. Then I had Silver Spurs, which is probably my favorite, or one of my favorites, and it was consistently amazing. I had Silver Spurs and I had hard on. In every bite, I was just like, boing. I mean, I just unbelievable. And my friend who was eating with me and had the same thing. It was just so delicious, and it's huge, but it's still juicy, and I love it. Some other people may disagree, but I love it. There's the boner, and what else did I have? Oh, okay. So then, like the next day, then we were on the way to Jackson, Virginia, which to play with Kicks, which was an amazing show. What a explosive night. But we had on the way, we went to McDonald's and had double quarter pounders with cheese, which I have to say, I know it sounds crazy, but that's one of my favorite burgers too. That's one of the tastiest burgers you can get. It seems like just crap, and it probably is, but just flavor wise, like if you compare it flavor wise to other burgers, it's really, really delicious, and just just very mouth watering. I don't know. It's like juicy and soft, and I love the little pickles with the ketchup and I think they put a little bit of mustard or something. Anyway, I love it. And then at Jack's we had burgers, and Jack's makes an incredible burger. They put like oregano. I don't know if I should be telling you their secrets, but they put like a little bit of like, well, obviously like salt, garlic, and pepper, like that's the usual. But then they sprinkle oregano on top, and while the burger's on the grill, and something about it, like when you bite into it, and the fries have it too, and there's this like sort of odd taste that you're not used to when you're eating a burger, and it's just very refreshing, and and they make it really well. It was only one time I ever had a horrible burger there, and it was a different cook, and they just charred it. It was like a hockey puck. But the last few, every other time it's been amazing. So if you're ever at Jack's in Springfield, Virginia, order the burger with the French fries. It's so good. And then two more. I had, actually two more. No, one more, I think. Then I went to the Old Homestead, and I finally had that burger, which I read on some blogs that that's one of the best in New York. And as a friend of mine told me that that was one of his favorites. So I was looking forward to it. Now, good burger. It's a very good burger. But in my opinion, not great. Not great. Like, not enough that I would feature it in any sort of podcast or a review on burgers. So that's my 2 cents. Take it for what it's worth, but try it out there. If anybody has had any of the burgers that I've talked about, I'm sure everyone's had double quarter pounders with cheese. But if you had the burger of Peter Luger's or Silver Spurs or the Old Homestead or even Jack's, which I got to tell you is amazing, email me and let me know what you think. And if there's something I haven't mentioned, if you have a burger that you think is incredible, then let me know. I got to tell you though, in New York City, I think this might actually be the best, probably better than Silver Spurs. Shake Shack is a little shake. No, not a little shake. You see, you ruined my concentration with your gadgets. Inspector Gadget over here. It's a little like just like a shack, let's call it. Like a booth in Madison Park, I think. I think it's called Madison Park or Madison Square Park, which is in Chelsea in New York City. And the line is like you'll wait like an hour to get a burger. The line is just insane especially when the weather's really nice. And I'm like, what the hell is the hype? You know when I had it? Wait a second. I had it the day that they were doing Celebrity Apprentice. The day they were filming, I was there, and then I walked over to the girls' area where they were filming, and I actually got a free cupcake from Sharon Osbourne. How funny is that? She goes, I said, are these compliments? She goes, sure, lovely, have one. And I'm like, okay. And in the background, Cyndi Lauper is singing Girls Just Want to Have Fun. I mean, it was so surreal. I was like, what the hell? What the fuck's going on right now? And then on the way back, I passed the Shake Shack. So I said, you know what? They're not going to be done filming for a while. I'm going to wait online and see what the hype is about. And it was worth it. To wait an hour for a freaking hamburger, it sounds insane, but it was so, so good. So I might have to say that is the best one. So email me at yopaulie@thepoliezshow.com. Let me know your burger recommendations. Also go to thepoliezshow.com to listen to the podcasts and older podcasts as well if you're just joining us now. And obviously you can get them at iTunes. You can download them for free there. And what else do we got? ZO2.com, myspace.com/ZO2, facebook.com/ZO2band, which is our new Facebook site. So please join. If you're on the old one, please transfer over to the new one. And of course, Twitter. I have my Twitter is ZO2Paulie. So if you want to see my tweets, go there. So anyway, I think wait, and we have one more. Alex is saying one more thing.
Ask them when they download to actually subscribe on iTunes.
Oh, okay. Okay, see, well, they can't hear what you're saying, but I'll repeat it. He asked me to tell you guys to ask you nicely that when you go to when you download the Paulie Z Show on iTunes, subscribe to it because the subscribing, what is it? It adds to the feed or something. Oh, it'll subscribe you to the feed, right? So you'll constantly get that's how I did it. So you'll just when the new one comes out, you'll have it, and it'll be automatic, and you don't have to worry. And obviously, it looks better for us too if we have more subscribers. It's better than just people doing it one at a time. So, and if you don't mind, rate the show. You have the little rating over there with the stars. 5 stars is my preference if you don't mind. I think that's it. I'm done for today. I think we're going to. Did I miss anything? No, we're good. All right. Well, thank you, John, for being on the show, and everybody else. Keep sending those emails, and I will talk to you later. She's in love with the radio. She's in love with the radio. Oh, she's in love.
Hello?
Hey. Good morning, sleepyhead.
Mom?
It's your father.
You wish.
John, I am your father.
I'll show you who's your daddy.
Hey, so we're not on yet. I just
Oh, I
yeah.
worked on that all day.
We can redo it. We can redo it. We can redo it. Don't worry. I just this is
No, it won't be the same.
okay.
Forget it.